get to the GOAT and all his 7 rings, considering all the storylines, leaving his coach, Foxborough, etc., then beats Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes on his way to another championship. Max, do you feel like this was the best playoff run ever by a quarterback when we consider all the circumstances?
It would be if there was no such thing as Eli Manning, but clearly and by far, both of Eli's runs were better than Brady's this year. Clearly and by far. Let's start with the first one in 07, 08, right? That run started on the road. And by the way, Eli, both times, had to go on the road the whole way. Not like Tom Brady, who got to host the Super Bowl. Eli was truly on the road the whole time. Game 1. Look, he didn't get to face a 7-9 team with Heineke as the quarterback, who was okay. He faced a 9-7 team with Jeff Garcia as the quarterback, who was a solid NFL quarterback with a real career as a starter behind him. Like, Eli's first round, 9-7, was tougher than Tom Brady's. Next round, you can look at Drew Brees and go, oh, my God, the name on the resume. But, guys, Drew Brees was no longer the great Drew Brees. Let's be honest. The Tony Romo that Eli had to face and beat at Dallas was a better quarterback that year than Brees was this year, who was also coming off of shattered ribs, a punctured lung, the whole thing. That's just a fact. Also, his team won 13 games. And then Eli goes up to Lambeau and beats Brett Favre at Lambeau when Brett Favre was still a great player, and then finishes it off. Who's the GOAT? Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady, in his best season, clearly and by far, with Randy Moss on the team. They were undefeated. Had they won that game, they were going to be universally accepted as the greatest team in the history of American team sports. Forget about the 27 Yankees. Forget about the 72-win Chicago Bulls. It was going to be the Patriots, and Eli beat that team. I'm sorry. Not as a 3-point underdog who really should have been favored, not because the line was all banged up, because he came up with clutch play after clutch play. I'll save 2011, which was also better, by the way, Alex Smith in San Francisco for a 13-win team. Aaron Rodgers with a 15-win team at Green Bay, and then Tom Brady again in the Super Bowl. Those are the 2 greatest postseason runs ever. And then comes Tom Brady this year.
Molly, tell me what you want me to say. Like, what?
I just want you to give me your visceral reaction to what you just heard.
I just
speak your mind. Speak from the heart.
Max, I'm praying that you're not doing this just because I'm on the show.
You better speak from the heart.
I'm praying that this is not just to get me worked up, because I know sometimes you know how to push my buttons, and but I'm gonna fall for it because you are out of your damn mind. You have lost it, Max Kellerman. You have lost your mind on this topic right here. You've lost your mind. And I know Stephen A. gone, but how in the world, bro, can you sit on TV and say what you just said? This man is 43 years old. He's 43 years old. 43. Max. Calm down, Marcus. A 43-year-old quarterback just led a team to a Super Bowl. A 43-year-old quarterback that left a team during a global pandemic with no offseason just led a team to the Super Bowl. A quarterback that you said sucked, that was done, just led a team that hadn't been to the playoffs in 11 years. Not sucked, fell off a cliff. 11 years, no Super Bowl, no playoffs, to the Super Bowl, and won, and beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The GOAT, Patrick Mahomes, that you said was the best you had ever seen with your own 2 eyes. He went to Lambeau, again, no offseason, 43, global pandemic, and beat Aaron Rodgers. Max, you said nobody wants to go to Lambeau. And nobody's going to beat Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau. That is why the Green Bay Packers are going to the Super Bowl. That was Max Kellerman. All right, cool. You say Drew Brees, name on the jersey. Might I add that the New Orleans Saints beat them 38-3 in the meeting they had during the regular season? So obviously, they made strides before the playoffs in order to win the game. Max, this is the most impressive Super Bowl win in the history of the NFL, bro. Some circumstances Tom Brady has no control over, but he played in a time where those circumstances were the problem, all right? So if I told you, if I said, let's forget about names, let's forget about everything you just said. If I said, Max, don't use your whole Columbia, try to switch things around on this situation. This is clear and plain. You know me. I'm a straight to the point, black and white type guy. All right? If I told you a 43-year-old quarterback was going to go to the Super Bowl with a new team that didn't have an offseason, that played the season in a global pandemic, that lost games in November, that everybody counted them out, went on to win the Super Bowl, and they beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who you deemed was about to be a dynasty, and you would tell me that that's not the best Super Bowl run?
No, hold on. There are many things to talk about here. Number one, what we've seen in the pandemic, everyone was playing in a global pandemic. What we saw was experience made a big difference. Like the teams who had been there made a big difference. The Dodgers had a lot of postseason experience. They won the World Series. The obviously LeBron James, a lot of postseason experience, won the championship. Same thing with Brady. Going into the season, many people picked the Bucs to get to the Super Bowl. It's not like no one did that. So the perception was they were a very good team, and Tom Brady was still perceived as an effective quarterback, whether or not elite.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.